Of all the equipment used by firefighters, few items are as steeped in history or as personal to the wearer as the helmet. For more than 200 years, it has afforded those men and women protection in dangerous situations. It has even become symbolic of the firefighter. But not all helmets are created the same. That's why two firefighters founded Phenix Technologies more than 40 years ago to manufacture helmets. Helmets now used throughout the nation and the world.
In 1969, I met a fellow named Ronnie Coleman, who ended up being my business partner for several years and still is business partner. And we put our designs out on the table, and they were the same fire helmet. Our fire helmets are lighter, they're better balanced than you usually run into. And we just basically have a helmet that is extremely comfortable.
One of the things is all of our helmets are designed ergonomically. So the way that they sit on the head evenly distributes weight, it helps the wearer. It sits a little bit lower on the head, and so you don't have long-term fatigue from wearing the helmet over a long period of time. And so the comfort of the helmet by itself helps the Phenix helmet to stand out. On the leather, we have the lightest, as I mentioned earlier, the lightest helmet in the industry. So it weighs roughly 55 ounces, which is incredibly light for a leather helmet. And so combining the ergonomic design with the weight itself helps us to make it an incredibly comfortable helmet to wear. Our basic First Do Contemporary Series helmet, it's essentially a plastic helmet. It goes through an injection molding process just right down the street, goes into a high pressure machine, pops out a shell that looks just like this. All of our shells are identical, the weights are identical, the shape and all of the dimensions are identical. From when we receive these in a box, and as the orders come in, what we then do is we put in our liners, our suspension liners, all of the padding that goes with them. A lot of the helmets, I don't have one here, but have detachable ear laps or sewn-in ear laps. Our leather worker will go in, he'll shape, cut, sew, put it together, and then he'll put a thermoplastic shell on the inside, which actually adds another layer of protection for the wearer. It comes into our manufacturing facility here, and then it goes into our paint booth, and we paint custom orders for the customer. So traditionally we sell a lot of blacks, yellows, and reds, and whites for chiefs, but each helmet is individual. We actually have the ability, and I can show you, we have name stamping opportunities that go on the back of our brim. We're actually the only major manufacturer that carries the name stamping capability. And it makes the helmet individualized, and it also prevents somebody putting on the wrong helmet because they've actually got their last name or whatever their nickname they want to use on the back of the helmet. The other thing you'll notice is on the brim of the leather helmet, we have different shapes. We're able to really design it as the customer wants it. We have about a half dozen standard shapes that customers go for, different bends and so forth.
When we received the helmet in that natural state that you saw Angel showing you earlier, basically the helmet is almost complete. The name stamps are in. All we do here really is paint the helmet and do final assembly. So if it has a name stamp in it, like I said, we have to verify to make sure the names are spelled correctly, double check the colors, make sure that the customer doesn't want anything custom, because we can actually paint different colors on the same helmet. And in fact, we have one that's due for a custom paint job that's black, that's going to require red just in these two quadrants of the helmet. So depending, we follow along the lines of other customer service oriented businesses where it's basically what the customer wants, the customer gets. I mean, if we can do it, we will.
It's not just people that build this helmet, it's people that have worn this helmet. I personally have worn this helmet for about 20 years. And of course we know what we like and don't like, and it helps us to actually go and modify the helmet to fit our needs, which of course translates over to the new wearer's needs.